ABC, it's Greeno. Saturday morning, house to myself. Been up since about 6 o'clock. Spinning records pretty much. It's like almost noon now. Make a video. What's been spinning, basically. There might be a couple new things in here, I'm not sure. It might actually kind of keep this video going throughout the day, throughout the weekend, whatever, so who knows, might post it right after this, I don't know. But, anyways, show some shit here. What's spinning in the background, and this is going to be a pretty eclectic mix of stuff here, I guess. So, it's not all metal, it's not all jazz, blues, whatever. It's just a little bit of everything I've been listening to lately, just pulling stuff. What's spinning now is Lost Reactors, Dead in the Suburbs. This is one of those punk albums I picked up, about a month ago. Got a handful of them. Never heard these dudes. This is on that Italian Rave Up label. Reissuing all this crazy old punk. Looks like these guys were out of Oklahoma. Put out an EP, and that was kind of it. And this has the EP on it on side 1, and side 2 is all live stuff. I haven't got to side 2 yet. And yeah, that stuff goes. You know what the quality's gonna be like, but I'll check it out. But the EP, I'm really digging this. Just dropped a needle for the second time on this. Actually, just have it on repeat. So cool album. Thinking that I would love to find more stuff on this Rave Up label. I just lucked into a handful of those kind of records off that label and really dug them. Got some CDs too. It's been, along with the vinyl, I've showed my just in out of control piles. Same deal with CDs, and especially CDs right now it's a cool time to pick them up. You know, cheap. Basically nobody wants CDs anymore, and I can't believe how much I hear. It cracks me up how much I hear people that are heavy into vinyl now, and they're taking all their CDs, get rid of that shit. I want all vinyl now. Kind of reminds me of get rid of that shitty vinyl. I want all CDs now, from back in the late 80s into the 90s. Everybody regretted that. I think at some point everybody's going to regret getting rid of their CDs too. But as I said, right now is a good time to pick up CDs, man. You can score them pretty cheap usually. Record stores around here, they're $4 or $5. But you go to yard sales and all that, man, you're talking $1 or less usually. But anyways, and I do pick up occasionally, get some new stuff comes out on CD, especially 80s rare metal. You know, it's just possible to find originals or way too expensive for this kid. Or it just hadn't got released on or reissued on vinyl. So I pick them up on CD occasionally. So first up is Graven Image. I just got this. Just got reissued on by No Remorse, and it's People in Hell Still Want Ice Water. The original EP was People in Hell Want Ice Water, or the single, I guess. I think I'm right there. Should be right. Whatever. But anyways, band out of California, early 83, 84, put out a single. Then a couple years later, put out a picture disc EP. Basically, this band, total of 5 tracks they issued in the 80s. But this has a bunch of demo stuff and all that on there also, which is, you know, again, whatever. But, excuse me, the 5 tracks they put out in the 80s are killer. This is really, really cool. Really dug this. Aaron, do you have any originals by these dudes? That's, yeah, if anybody in the BC would, it'll be Aaron. I've never come across anything, I've never even really seen anything by that band. I think I'd heard the name or seen it, you know, online, but that's the first time I've even seen that on CD. Next is Harlot, 25 Gets a Ride. Very cool band. Man, I want to say Michigan. Definite U.S. band. And this is late 80s, 87, 88. And this is a reissue from a couple years back on Skol, S-K-O-L Records. And this singer actually went on, and actually I pulled it out, kind of crazy. He sang with Watchtower, if I remember right. He was on one of their albums from the late 80s. And right now he's in the new version of Riot 5. He's the singer on this album. And it's Todd Michael Hall. And I picked this up a while back. Still haven't even opened it up. I need to spin it. But after listening to The Harlot, definitely I'm probably going to open this up today and give it a listen. This album, very cool. The first EP and first album from Queensryche, it's kind of in that vein. Very, very cool. Okay, next up is Kairos. I think is how you pronounce it. It's Kairos. And it's Wicked Callings. This is brand new, 2015. Band out of Sweden. Young band. Pretty cool. Kind of in that new wave traditional heavy metal sound. Kind of got their own thing going. A little different. That's check them out on YouTube. There's some stuff on there. Pretty cool. Next up, another new wave traditional heavy metal release is Raging Fire, Caught in the Game. These guys are from Spain. Really dug this. It's just a 4-track EP and brand new, 2015, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And here's the band. Really cool stuff. Like I say, occasionally, probably not gonna find this on vinyl if it even has been issued on vinyl. But if anybody would know, it'd be Renee. So feel free to leave a comment, Renee. I'm sure you know about this band being from Spain. And the last CD, I have no idea where this came from. I was going through the Just In CDs, stacks of them, and I pulled this out. I'm like, what the crap? I don't even know where this came from. But it's very cool. It's a band called Nonfiction. And a couple members from Hades. These guys were from New Jersey, and this came out in 1992. There's the inside. The cover's not. The name of the album is In the Know. The cover's not really that impressive, but you can kind of get an idea of what you're dealing with here. Hopefully, you can see the picture. Definitely, hard rock, metal kind of band. And 92. We're getting into the 90s. It's kind of like an alternative metal. It has a bit of a thrash production mixed with like a Kyuss production. Like there's not a lot of mids. It's all scooped out and but interesting. Pretty cool. And for the life of me, I cannot remember I picked this up. So it was probably, I grabbed it at a store or somewhere for a couple bucks or at a yard sale or something a long time ago. I just totally don't remember where that came from. Which is cool. It's just how it works, when you're out picking up so much cheap crap, it kind of builds up, and that's what the just-in piles are. So usually 90% of it anyway. All right, some vinyl. I just kind of pulled this out. I got thinking about this album the other day and I hadn't heard it for a while. I found this a few years back at a record shop. Had no idea what it was and grabbed it. It's Robert Culvert, which one of the dudes from Hawkwind. And it's Captain Lockheed and the Starfighters. And it looks like this is an original from 74. I think it's when this originally came out. Yep, 1974. Interesting album. It's a concept album. And actually I was just texting Aaron about it. It looks like something might be right up your alley, man. It's kind of odd. There's a lot of spoken word stuff in here, like some comedy kind of thing in between tracks, but it's part of the concept. And it's about, evidently, Germany. There was a scandal dealing with a bunch of planes they bought from Lockheed back in the 60s, and like in the lifespan of those planes, they were just junk, and like half of them crashed or whatever, and it was just a huge scandal or whatever, evidently. But it's a concept album about that, which is weird. But it's really interesting, kind of funny with some of the the stuff in between, where you know you can hear like this American Lockheed guy trying to sell planes to this German dude. It's pretty wild. Very interesting album. Got a couple reissues of this band. These are like 10, 11 bucks at this store, local store. It's Fred and the New JBs, Breaking Bread. It's just 70s funk. Produced by James Brown. And here's the inner ring. You know, like I said, it was real cheap. I knew nothing about this other than, you know, I'm assuming it's the James Brown's backing band and all that. But cheap funk. So picked it up and ended up digging it. This morning I've been going through, I mentioned before, I kind of started a 70s hard rock section here within the collection, trying to get all that stuff kind of segregated and together, the more obscure stuff. So I've been going through the collection, just pulling some stuff out to move into that section, like Cactus, and yeah, I pulled this out, Bloodwind Pig, getting to this. I'll put this in the 70s section. This is a really cool album, 1970. Has a little bit of boogie rock to it, but still a good heavy album from 1970. You know? So I'm gonna throw that in there, and I moved all the Blood Rock over into the 70s section finally. As I was spinning this, I found another copy of USA by Blood Rock, and this is a gatefold copy, which I guess I'll go ahead and show. I've had this for a while, but my copy isn't a gatefold. But after finding this one, I got a copy of a non-gatefold and this one. So I actually forgot how cool this album is, man. Really good stuff. Really cool band. All right, next I was spinning this last night. I had it for a while, just pulled it out to spin. Adam Kraft, Future Warriors. It's like 1985. That's the inner. It's on Neat Records. And these guys kind of a raw sound, like almost like a Venom thing. I was actually kind of looking them up a little bit last night, and I always thought they were German for some reason, but they are, you know, they were English, I guess. And yeah, you get some comparison to Venom and that kind of thing. They're not as raw as Venom, but I can kind of hear that a little bit. Cool band. Next, great album. Just pulled it out, hadn't heard it for a while. Death Angel, Frolic Through the Park. And this is the one, kind of got them on MTV and all that with Bored, and they did the cover of Cold Gin, the Kiss cover. Bay Area thrash, I think we all know Death Angel, hopefully. Still going strong today. Next, one of the Kiss reissues. I got Dynasty. I have been picking up the reissues slowly. This comes with the poster and everything, and I'm blown away by these reissues. Usually reissues, you know, sounds good. That's cool. Glad to have it on vinyl. These Kiss ones were stupid expensive, and you know, I didn't bite on any of them until they come down in price. I've been picking them up around the $20 range when I grab them. But they did a fantastic job on these, and everybody's already talked about it, and I don't need to go into it, but it's just, it was worth them doing it. They sound fantastic. Next, grab this really cheap, kind of like this era, you know, 70s right up until they got huge on MTV, which is ZZ Top, and this is a live radio broadcast. Capitol Theater, New Jersey, June 15th, 1980. Like I said, this is a radio broadcast. Sounds fantastic, and it's that 70s ZZ Top. You know, the more dirty, using old stomp boxes for the guitars and just killer. Once they get up into Eliminator and all that, and whatever those were up into the 80s, they kind of lost me. But very cool band. And last one in this stack, just going through the piles of unlistened shit and pulled out a Wilson Pickett, the Midnight Mover. Dig Wilson Pickett, man. Got a bunch of his stuff. Just, you know. What more do you gotta say? This dude was amazing. If you've never heard Wilson Pickett, check him out. He just gets you moving, you know, get you amped up. You can't sit still and listen to him. Alright, that's it. Might keep going here. Okay, and it's a week later. Started this video last Saturday, and now it's Sunday. Following week. So I just never got back to it. Crazy busy. But anyways, couple of new things. Just kind of what's been into. Mainly new things here come in this week. Ran into some new wave British heavy metal singles online. A little pricey, but got them on sale and had some points built up at this place where I got them from. So got a few here. First is Handsome Beasts, Sweeties. And these are all originals. This is from '81. This is not a sleeve, just a kind of like the way the Japanese singles are, just a insert. And the it's on Heavy Metal Records. These things are killer, man. Of course, you know, old new wave British heavy metal, but came with like these little inserts. If we can see those. This looks like from the shoot for the cover, some different pictures. Really cool band. Next is Bitches Sin, Always Ready for Love. And on Neat Records. So I'm trying to build up the Neat collection, especially the singles. And actually, not here there. They got Girls School, Nothing to Lose on bronze. This is also 81, I think. 1980. It's really cool. And another Neat. It's a Heavy Pettin' Roll the Dice. And Neat. And there's a couple more. I didn't bring them over yet. I haven't spun them yet, but they'll show up. And something new, or newer. It's come out in 2009. Came across this online. I was like, look at this, man. I listened to it. It was like, what the crap? This is so bad. I actually sent it out to a couple BC members, Aaron being one of them. And before he even got back to me, I listened to it a couple more times. I was like, it's kind of growing on me. And he was like, man, that's the kind of stuff I dig, you know, the weird, you know, kind of out there. It's like, this is definitely out there. But the more I listened to it, the better it got. Scolari, I think that's how you say it. The Wine of Satan. It's just, it's from 2009, German band, and they are not the masters of their instruments, put it that way. But man, they have some passion, and it's got some charm to it. They also do a cover of My Angel, the old Girls School song, or Rock Goddess. God, I'm completely screwed up. Yeah, Rock Goddess. The Girls School on the mind. Anyways, cover of their song, and it's pretty cool. But the Wine of Satan is just, it's great. It's on YouTube, check it out. I think there was 300 of these made, or no, maybe 500. I think it was 500. And last is Dragon's Kiss, Somewhere Up in the Mountains. And Somewhere Up in the Mountains is actually an old new wave British heavy metal song by Marquis de Sade, I think was the name of the band. It's a weird song, but it's actually kind of gets in your head as you're listening to it. Pretty cool band. This is newer. I don't see a year on it, but it's not very old. Pretty cool. Next up is a 10-inch from a newer band from New England, I think. US band, Chalice. This is really pretty cool. Here's the insert. Female singer. Kind of like it's like a mix of doom, occult rock, traditional metal, just a little bit of everything in here. And this is like really interesting. It's 4 songs. Very cool. Really, just really digging this. Next, found this yesterday. Went into a store that I hardly ever buy anything out of because their prices are just ridiculously high. I found this for $6. T-Rex. What was the name? Deep Summer. And this is like a single from '82. It was put out by, was it Mark on Wax, which is basically Mark Bolan stuff being reissued. But like I say, it's from '82. It's only 3 songs, but for $6, grab that, man. Never seen T-Rex stuff like this around. Next, pre-ordered this a long time ago and finally showed up. Took forever. Black Trip Shadowline, and it's already been talked about. Not much to say other than it's really, really good. Nathan talked about it. LJ's already talked about it. So check out Black Trip if you haven't yet. Very cool new wave of traditional heavy metal in that new wave British heavy metal style. And just got a reissue of this. Love this album. Train a Comin', Steve Earle. Haven't spun this yet. I know this album back, front to back. Hometown Blues, Sometimes She Forgets, Mercenary Song, Tom Ames' Prayer, Angel Was the Devil, just the whole album. It's killer. And this is after, this isn't 80s Steve Earle, was it Copperhead Road and all that. This is more the acoustic singer-songwriter Steve Earle. Once he got into the 90s and cleaned up a little bit. Just his 90s stuff is phenomenal. And got in some CDs. I've been picking them up here lately when I find good deals. And actually what's playing in the background is St. Elmo's Fire, Warning from the Sky. And I picked up all 4 St. Elmo's Fire. And actually you can see the cover a little better here. These just got reissued by Carthago. Got them from Pure Steel in Germany. And here's their debut. This is the only one I had on vinyl. And I've been looking for more for years. And saw these being reissued, so I grabbed them. And then their third album was Power Drive. I haven't opened this one yet. And this is on a Heavy Metal Classic series that Carthago is doing. So this is like number 26, 24, 25, 26. And their 4th album is number 20 for some reason, which is Desperate Years. This is like, the first album was 86, second was 88, third was 90, and then the last one was 92. So these guys are from California, Sacramento, and they're actually big at the time, but just kind of never, well, they put out 4 albums, but I guess they never got national exposure really. But really cool band. That's what's playing in the background. Next up, reissue of Sacred Few, Beyond the Iron Walls. Shadow Kingdom just reissued this, just come out. Female singer. These guys were from Cleveland. Just come out in the late 80s. I think, no, mid 80s. I didn't know a lot about this band. And saw the reissue pop up, so went ahead and grabbed it. Decent price. Also, Axis, No Man's Land. American band from the 80s. Very much a, they got like a new wave British heavy metal sound going. Yeah, I think this is mid 80s if I remember right. But very cool. Then we got Wild Horses, Bareback. This is total melodic, late 80s, early 90s, MTV sounding stuff, but very cool. I'm sure Kenneth knows about this band. And this is a reissue of Wounded Bird. It's a cool little label. And these just come in, I haven't even checked these out yet. High Tension, Warrior. I think these guys were German, if I remember right. Tyrant, another German band. This is on Battle Cry. Been digging these dudes. Got 2 or 3 of the CD reissues, a couple on vinyl. Warrior, new wave British heavy metal on No Remorse. And the last one is Neutralized by Talon. Lots of CDs to be checking out. Been in a CD mood. When I find them on good prices here lately, I've been grabbing them. Alright, might try and add some more, keep this thing going with help. And it's Friday night, like week and a half after I was last filming. I mean, I think it's been about a month since I put up a video. Just haven't been really motivated, plus postseason baseball is going on right now, and just haven't got around to it. So, gonna keep this thing going, and this will be the last segment here, and end up posting it. It's probably gonna be pretty long. I don't even know how much I got filmed now, and hopefully I'm not going to show anything for the second time here. So, but anyways, grabbed a couple CDs yesterday from a friend who sells online. He got some High Roller CDs in. I just grabbed a couple. Got Sling Blade, which I've seen this online, but wasn't going to grab it for $12-15 bucks. Got it for $5 from him. I think they're from Sweden. Just kind of a new wave traditional heavy metal kind of thing going on. Female singer, pretty cool. Kind of on the rock side. Really dug it. Wouldn't mind finding the vinyl now. And grab this. I'd never seen this before. It's Loudness Rock Shocks. And it looks like it's re-recorded tracks. They took some of their old songs and redid them. And I think this may even have some bonus stuff on it. There's a couple different pressings of this, and this is on the Crush label. But kind of cool. I've never seen that before. Also, I pulled out an old book. It's from like '83. It's called the International Encyclopedia of Hard Rock and Heavy Metal from 1983. And it's kind of interesting because there's like a ton of '70s stuff in here. We're only in 1983, so we're just getting into the '80s, and it's actually pretty cool. It's got me going back through my collection and pulling some stuff out and checking out. And there might be a couple things in here I'll show you here in a second because of this book. I found this at a flea market for like $1 or $2 years ago. 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever. But it's been on the shelf for a long time. I just kind of pulled it out and got thumbing through it, and it's just real quick information on each band and discography and that kind of thing. But it, it just kind of got me checking out stuff in the collection again. So it's kind of cool, and it's cool to see heavy metal and tons of '70s entries here. So yes, heavy metal in the '70s. So that was kind of cool. Alright, if you've watched my videos in the past, I've shown a new magazine I really dig called Iron Fist. And I kind of found it around here. A couple issues popped up, and nobody's carried it since. So I've been getting them off eBay and that kind of thing. I think they're up to, this is number 15. But this one came out, I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was actually talking to Nathan, and he's like, hey, I got a buddy in Pittsburgh that they have it there at one of the stores. He's going to pick me up one. I can hook you up. I was like, hell yeah. So he just hooked me up with Matt, and Matt contacted me and PayPal'd him some money, and he sent me the new Iron Fist. So thanks, Matt. Totally appreciate this, dude. New Slayer on the back. But a big thing on Venom, thing on Neat Records, and then what do we have? Halloween, Satan, Pentagram, and a bunch of new wave traditional heavy metal bands in here, some death metal bands. Just a really good magazine overall. I found a lot of bands in here I haven't heard of, to check out. So it's a killer magazine if you're into the kind of stuff I'm showing. Definitely try and get your hands on any issue of this magazine. It comes out every couple months, I think, and like I said, this is number 15. So very cool. And I grabbed this. I haven't just got it. Haven't read it, but it's Record Collector, the newest issue. It's a magazine out of the UK, but they did a thing on stoner rock, so I figured I'd grab this. Looks kind of cool. And that's kind of it. So let's get into the vinyl here finally. Just got this in today, along with a couple other things, and they're in this stack here at some point. New Speed Trap. 7-inch for Straight Shooter. Killer track. Probably the best track on the album. Definitely. Band from Finland. Kind of speed metal mixed with there's some punk attitude in it. Some Motorhead maybe in it. Not vocally, but just kind of musically. Cool band. I have their EP and their first full length. And got the single and their new full length. It'll pop up here in a second. I'll be showing it. But very cool band. Yeah, if you haven't checked them out, check them out. Got another new wave of British heavy metal single. It's A to Z. I'm the One Who Loves You. This is on Polydor. Not the greatest single. And actually cover. And I can't remember who originally did this. I can't even read the label. My eyes suck. But cool to grab for the collection. Another single. Came across this. This is basically just a totally unknown 70s hard rock band. And somebody found the single, and they thought it came out in '69, but now they're saying they think it came out in '74. I saw some more information on it, '74, '75. And they're from up around Detroit. And it's Ostrogoth. Very cool. 70s hard rock. And the track A-side is Satan Spiritus. And then B-side is Lady of the Moon. Very cool. Kind of dark, occult-y sounding. Detroit sounding too. Very cool. But it's just amazing. Just a totally lost band. And I don't think they can track any of these guys down, or even if they know who was in the band. But yeah, very cool. And the last single, Persian Risk, Riding High. It's a neat single, new wave British heavy metal. And this is Persian Risk when Phil Campbell was in the band before he moved on to Motorhead. Or, eventually would move on to Motorhead. So, really happy to grab this. Anything on Neat, of course. Alright. Jump into the 12 inch. Grabbed two things by this band. Both were sealed. First one from '84, and both are EPs, and this is all they ever did. Steel Warriors. Like I say, this was their first one from '84, I believe. Band out of New York. Pretty cool. This one's so-so. Not quite there yet. But then their second EP, On the Road to Hell, is definitely there. This is killer 80s underground metal. I really, really dig this one. I can't remember if there's a picture. It's basically this Steve Scott, the guitar player, singer, is the main guy for the band. And actually, I think on this one, he did a lot of the guitar, drums, vocals, the whole nine. But really cool. Came across both these sealed, and they opened them up. I was hoping they wouldn't be warped or anything, which they weren't. And they're pretty much near mint. Had to grab them. Okay, next. George, are you watching? Hard Action. Finally got it on vinyl. Popped up at a very reasonable price. I've seen this around really expensive. Like 30, 40 bucks, something like that. And popped up for less than 20. It's like 17 or something like that, I think, right around in there. So I had to grab it. Cool, just big block rock. I don't know what you want to call it. Just kind of on that rock side. Really cool. It's on Svart. Sinister Vibes. It's the name of the album. Crap, where are they? I think they were Sweden. I may be totally wrong on that. But I had a single by them. Really dug it. And then I saw George showing the CD for this. I believe he had the CD. And it was like, man, I got to get the full length. Got looking around. I couldn't believe the prices on it. And then one popped up, so had to grab it. And then we have Straight Shooter, full length from Speed Trap. Very cool. I have to say, so far, I dig the EP the best. The first thing that came out, like in '09. And then their first full length was cool. Definitely cool. And then this one. Not that this is bad by any means, but and I probably need to spin it a few more times. I've only got a couple spins on it so far. But I don't know. It's really good, but it didn't hook me like the first couple did. But like I said, I've only spun it a couple times. So just pulled out some stuff to spin. Alpha Centauri, which this was VCLT from Brother Rui in Portugal. Love this, man. Canadian band. Just killer 70s. Really, really good band. Diamond Head 12-inch. Making Music. And this is from the Canterbury era of the band. Which, Canterbury, that album popped up and Scott and Trog's video for 1983, which kind of surprised me. I'm not big on that album. Definitely a change in direction for Diamond Head, going more towards that commercial side. This has the one track, Making Music, and then the B-side is a pretty long interview from, I don't know, like a radio interview or something with the band. It's pretty cool. Next is The Master's Apprentices. This is Nickelodeon. I can't remember if this is their second or third album. Australian, early 70s, hard rock. Really good band. Just cool. What's the one? Panama Red, I think, is the other album I've had by them for a long time. A couple more of theirs popped up, reissued, so I went ahead and grabbed this one. I think they were kind of a big band in Australia at the time. And actually, I think they still do reunion shows and that kind of thing. Started out in the late 60s. Definitely had a 60s vibe on the first album, starting out. And then got a little heavier as they went along. Definitely have a little of that 60s psych kind of thing in them. But really cool band. I just pulled this out to listen to Doro for excuse me, Force Majeure. When it comes to Doro, definitely dig the Warlock ears the most. But she's put out some cool albums also. But her with Warlock was, just perfect. But this isn't a bad album other than the Whiter Shade of Pale. Like, no idea why she covered that. And these couple albums I pulled out because of that book I just showed. Bastard. Tearing Nights. And German band. And this is on the Stroud, it looks like, label. Just 70s hard rock. Late 70s. Cool stuff. This album, pretty good. Kind of prefer this one, Back to Nature. And this is on the Nova label. But I've had these two albums forever and listened to them probably when I first picked them up, and I hadn't spun them again. Got looking through that book and was like, man, I got those, you know what I mean? So I pulled them out and gave them another spin. I was like, yeah, definitely cool stuff. It's not real heavy. It's just good 70s rock with a touch of heavy rock in it, I guess you could say. But cool band. Holocaust Live, Hot Curry and Wine. I grabbed this. I didn't have it, and this is on the, or this is a High Roller reissue. So, pretty cool. Comes with a 7-inch. Of course, New Wave British Heavy Metal. Addicts, Weird Visions. And this is a French band. Not really thrash, not really speed, but kinda. I don't know. Cool band. Definitely interesting. And to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about them. This is the only thing I have. And I've had this for a while. Just kind of pulled it out. I don't remember the year. 1990. So this was kind of late in the game. Then we have Accept, Restless and Wild, different cover. And where was this from? Crap. It's an import. Spain. And, yeah, of course had this forever. But, not this copy, but came across this, had to grab it. It's basically just got different writing and all that on it. But the cover itself, the picture, excuse me, the picture is actually a little bit lighter, easier to see, so it's kind of cool. And here's the label. I also pulled this out to spin, hadn't heard it forever. Russian Roulette by Accept. What was this, 88, somewhere around in there. I need glasses. 86, wow. Thought it was later than that. This was an album when it first came out. It followed Metal Heart, which I totally love that album, man. Just saw him on that tour, completely love it. This album came out and I was kind of let down, and pretty much didn't get into it for a while. But it's one of those albums that's grown on me over the years, and definitely dig this album now. It's a killer record. Alright, one last thing. Never ever thought I would get this. When I heard it was coming out and what they were doing, I just laughed because I couldn't believe they were doing it. But it's basically the Van Halen live at the Tokyo Dome. 4 LP set in a box. And man, when I heard about this coming out, basically what they did, this is it. It's raw. It's live. Supposedly nothing was done to this. And I know David Lee Roth's deal live. He's an entertainer. He's not the greatest singer. But collecting boots in the 90s and all that. I definitely heard my share of live Van Halen, and Dave is an entertainer, not a singer. And I thought, this thing come out, it was like $80, man. It's like, wow. Somebody's going to get ripped off for $80 on that. It's going to suck. But got a heads up from LJ. They had them for like $22 on Amazon. All of a sudden they dropped the prices. I guess they're not selling. And I kind of sat on it and was like, oh man, I don't know. Go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and get it, because if I don't get it now, I'll never get it for that price again. And I got it. And it's set for 2-3 weeks. And I finally played it last weekend, and it's fucking awesome. Goes to show you, man. It doesn't matter. Yes, Dave isn't perfect. The band, however, is. Eddie sounds fantastic. It blew me away. I don't know what else to say. Never jump to judgment, I guess. Give everything a shot, because, if they hadn't lowered the price on this, I never would have listened to it, never would have cared. But getting it for that price, I thought, man, 4 LP set, box set, I'll go ahead and grab it. Put it with the Van Halen collection. I spun it, and it was like, this sounds awesome. Dave is definitely off in places, but Dave is definitely entertaining through the whole thing, and it's a great set. If they still got it for that price, I highly recommend jumping on it. There's no way in effing hell I would pay $80 for it, or 70, whatever it was when it first came out. But $20 to $30, it's worth every penny. It's a great listen. Totally loved it. So that's it. It's probably gonna be a long ass video. I don't know what I'll do next one. Like I said, I haven't been really motivated, but stuff's been rolling in, and I've been watching Scott and Trog doing these epic videos for 1983 and what they do, 71, I think. Kind of got my juices flowing again, I guess. So who knows? Might make another one tomorrow. Who knows? But definitely got some more stuff to show, so it'll be popping up. Hope everybody's doing well, and everybody has a good weekend. Still picking up subscribers, man. Thanks to everybody, all the new subscribers, old subscribers, everybody that comments, and hopefully I comment back to you. I do my best. So, all right, VC. Later.